Sean, is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it? River, are you gonna bring the... Uh-oh. Get over here, Ryan.
So you see how smart River is? He moved to my spot where we got...
I did notice that. I do. Ooh. What do you think he's gonna think now that we're gonna pick him up? He's not gonna, he has no idea. He has no clue. Okay, what did he tell you? Mom, I need to go to Urban Outfitter, or not the Outfitter store.
New Smyrna Outfitters,
okay.
And I gotta go get rods, and my cast net's on my boat, and...
Yeah, so there's a million things that have to happen that Mom has to take care of before we go meet Alfred.
Yes.
So he can go on the boat and take me out during a tropical depression.
I'm his personal Uber, and he
right.
fishes in the rain.
All right, guys.
24/7.
Wait for it. This is gonna be interesting. All right, let's go. Wait for it, guys. Oh my goodness. Welcome to Solace Boats.
There's a little buggy right now.
Wait for it. First of all, I'm here at Solace Boats. Steven, can you introduce yourself? Because we're going to do a walkthrough of the entire facility here to show the actual boats that you guys manufacture from beginning to end. We're going to show them everything, right? You're going to give us access to everywhere?
The whole facility. So I'm Steven Doherty. I'm the owner here with my wife, Sarah, and this is Solace Boats. It all starts right here. So here we've got a 5-axis machine that can cut something up to 60 feet long and about 20 feet wide or 15 foot tall. And so what we do is we design the boat or the boat component that we're looking to make. We come over here, we stack up styrofoam, which is under here, and then we spray on a putty, like a Bondo.
Okay.
And then we come back with our mill and we cut the surface on it.
So you guys are doing your everything from inception.
So we design the boats here in-house. We do everything in the computer. We put every single component in there. Our boats fit together precisely like a glove with access to every single component. And then we come out here, we literally stack up the styrofoam and we're cutting our own patterns to build our molds.
And right now, everybody has went to lunch.
They're all on lunch right now.
Which is fine. I mean, I guess we'll get them on the other side working as well, guys. All right, so you guys are you doing any tooling for any other manufacturers? Or
we do. This is kind of a separate business, and we'll build plugs and molds from truck components to aircraft and other boat builders. And really, this is what kind of started doing the tooling, just because I couldn't build boats for a little while. I had enough to beat, and so we started doing tooling. It's a great business to be in. And this way, I can help supplement the cost of my R&D facility with shipping molds and plugs.
This is massive. I mean, you can literally do a whole center console on here, right?
And we do.
And you do.
Yeah, I built a 65-foot hull plug under this mill.
Absolutely wild. Okay, so while we're here in lamination, because this is where it starts, what I want them to see, and I want them to understand your build process.
Okay.
Obviously, some people don't even know about the build process, Steven, so let's explain it to someone that doesn't know the whole process,
so let's
right?
start over here.
Okay, guys,
so
let's go ahead.
In here, we've got a gel coat booth, So this is basically a massive paint booth. We bring our mold, empty mold in here.
Which?
Like that one, the green one there.
Okay.
And we use green gel coat and red gel coat on our molds because chances are we're not going to be building a green boat or a red boat. So we want a contrasting color when we spray our gel coat.
So that's our actual gel coat painted, right?
Right. That is a green mold.
Yes.
And we're going to be spraying that today with white gel coat.
So it's waxed.
It's got a release agent on it.
That's right.
So we spray our gel coat on, it doesn't stick, and then we continue through the layers. And I'll show you one of the layers here.
All right. So in this booth is where the actual gel coat will be sprayed on.
Correct.
Here. Okay.
So after we do the gel coat, we infuse all of our major components. And when we do the infusion process, all the resin, all the fiberglass, core materials, aluminum, backing, everything gets done all at one time. And when we do that, we can get slight distortions on the gel coat surface. So we come in first and we put a skin coat of fiberglass, about 2 or 3 ounces of fiberglass on, and we do that for protective layer. And then after we put this in, we let it cure, we scuff it, so we get adhesion on the next process.
Okay.
And then over here, I'll show you what it looks like with infusing.
I already saw some interesting things that I gotta definitely talk about, because there's a huge mold there that I want a little bit of clarity on that, because I'm excited to see that big old mold over there. Maybe we can talk about that.
We'll go up there in a minute and look at that.
All right, what do we got here?
So the infusion process is kind of a new process adopted by the marine industry, and it's taken some years to get there. So there's been refinements on the core materials and resin flow materials and the resin itself. And what it is, we start off with a gel coat, and then we put a skin coat, and then we come in here and we lay all the fabric, all the core. We put in our screw holding material, so for places where we can't get to the backside to put a nut on, we put this high density plastic. We've got our core materials, so you see our core material getting placed in here, and then we put our layers of fiberglass.
When you're saying core, you're saying foam?
It's a foam core. So the foam core is to make the fiberglass structure thicker and stiffer and lighter. You know, one way to do it is just do all solid fiberglass, which is the quickest, cheapest way. And the other way is to add coring and put less fiberglass and less resin to make the same product. Okay,
I need them to visualize this flipped over.
So what we're looking at here is a liner.
That's right.
The inside of the boat for a 32. So here we've got the fuel tank cavity, and this is the cabin cavity. So this is all the shapes and everything to make the interior of the cabin. Here we've got a fish box. So you can see the fish box is at the angle of the hull.
Yes.
Same thing with the fuel tank cavity and the bilge cavity. And these come down, and we're going to put a glue on here, and it's going to be mated into the hull while it's still on the mold, and bond our liner and our hull together as one piece. The side here is going to make contact to the hull on the other side and bond together and become one piece.
So you guys are using very, very high-end fiberglass.
We are.
This is expensive stuff.
We use some of the best products on the market. We also use carbon fiber throughout the build in specialized areas. On our console sides, it's 100% carbon fiber to get the rigidity and lightweightness, and then we use it here and there throughout the build. And you know, a lot of people say they use carbon fiber. We really use carbon fiber throughout the build.
So what's your, you already done hand laminated boats in the past.
Yep.
And now you're doing infusion. Why do you like infusion so much more?
When we hand laminate, we do one layer at a time and we let it cure. And then we put our core material in and we let it cure. And same thing with our transoms and all the rest of the components. And we've got multiple layers going in. It's a inherently messy and wet process. Wet meaning we put a lot of extra resin in there.
Yeah.
And we have to depend on the adhesion of all those layers to stick to each other. It doesn't always happen. We have weekends in between the build processes. So sometimes we can have delamination and parts coming apart. When we infuse it, it all happens at one time. So we're going to put a bag on this. We're going to put a gasket around the edge, seal it up, pull a vacuum, and there'll be no air in this part. All this core and all the fiberglass is going to be compressed against the mold, and then we let in the resin. We get the best consolidation of fiberglass and core and resin and aluminum and plastic and everything all at one time.
Okay, so that's going to be bagged, and here we have an example.
Okay, so this is a flat panel that we're making for a customer, part of their molding process, and this has all the components that we just saw. It has gel coat, it has a skin coat, and then it has the core material, and it's got the bag on it. And you can see this bag is under vacuum right now. It's actually curing right now. I can feel the heat. And we've got all these tubes full of resin. So we pre-mix up the resin all at one time. So we know how many gallons it's going to take or how many pounds. And we pre-catalyze it. It's all born at the same time. And then we introduce that resin into the part and it all cures together.
And you're seeing it here. So I'm assuming you guys are using like kits that are already pre-cut, so that when you get a certain mold that you're gonna start laminating, you guys have the team already start applying the kits, right?
We do. So everything is pre-cut. All the core materials are cut.
Which you guys do here.
And we do everything in-house. So we have routers to cut the core. We have water jets to cut some of the plastic materials. And then we have a team of experts, some of the best team we have, cutting all the fabric and putting all the kits together with fiberglass and carbon. So here we have a hatch cover. This is going to be a lazarette hatch, the aft bilge. And they put the plastic on some tacky tape, and they're ready to put the fittings in and put this under vacuum. And these parts are all lined up like that. And they're going to introduce resin after lunch to these components.
All right. What mold is this for here? Was this mold used for this particular?
Okay, so over here we've got the 32.
And this mold is what?
This is our 28.
Okay, explain to them the importance of the mold, right? Because like right here, you see you have your non-skid, right? Which eventually they'll spray the gel coat.
Yep.
And so, this mold has to be perfect. And if there's any imperfections on the mold.
If there's any imperfections on the mold or the non-skid, it's going to transfer into the part. Now we do have some imperfections. Everything is handwork. And then in finishing we saw, or we'll get ready to see, where they take out all those imperfections and buff it, get it inspected, and make a perfect piece of fiberglass. But what you see here in the non-skid, this is molded in non-skid, as opposed to applying the non-skid afterwards. And it's a diamond non-skid, not a sand non-skid. And it gives you a better
and it's nice, and it looks nice, right? So you're not going to slip on the actual boat, because obviously you're going to be in wet conditions,
right?
You know, most of the day. I see that you have some molds here. You guys have made your whole molds and all the machinery you need to actually flip the mold, or how do you pull the molds?
Okay, so this is a hull and liner mold together right now.
Okay.
Waiting to come apart and pull the boat out. And we build all the steel framework to reinforce the molds, the end dollies, and then we have a hydraulic equipment over here, this yellow A-frame. We pick that up with the overhead hoist. It has hydraulics inside that rotate the molds. So we pick these up. We pick the mold up from each end and hydraulically turn it over. They're big, heavy molds.
Yeah. Okay, so how long will you leave like the hole in the mold before you actually pull the mold?
It needs to be in there where the glue will cure up and cool off. So usually it'll stay in there for 2 or 3 hours.
Okay.
And that's adequate to know that the glue is done its thing and cured and bonded well enough, and then we can start demolding.
But you can already pop it within the day if you wanted to?
Absolutely, yeah.
Really? Okay, so it'll dry that fast?
Yeah, cures very fast.
Oh, okay. And
So
I'm sure there's
here,
that's under a lot of temperature as well once it's doing that.
On the warmer the day, the faster it cures.
Yeah.
And you know, in the summertime, sometimes those guys are moving and shaking to get it closed in time before it cures.
Well, right now it's kind of wet, so that'll change, like it's wet outside. So
the humidity will affect the cure time on the fiberglass also. Yeah.
Okay. All right, where are we going up
so
now?
while we're here, we're going to go up and take a peek inside of a 56-foot cat that we're building for Merritt.
For Merritt?
So this is for Roy Merritt.
Didn't you tell me a while back at one of the shows that you were building a boat for Jimmy Buffett?
We were, yeah.
Is that the boat?
This is actually boat number 2.
Okay.
Boat number 1 is down in assembly. Jimmy's boat is down in assembly.
Wow.
And we'll see that in a little bit.
Well, we can show it?
Yes, we will.
All right, guys. Oof. So this is the actual hull, and it's in the mold right now. Oh my goodness. Wait for it. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so what we have here is we have a 56-foot catamaran mold, and we've done the infusion process and applied all the outer fiberglass, carbon, core material, everything that goes into it, and some of the stringers. Then we came back in afterwards and we fabricated all the bulkheads, glassed everything in, and now we're fairing it all. So this is different than what we would typically do at Solace. At Solace, we have molded fiberglass bilges and liners and all. This is built like a big boat, like a yacht, where
so we're talking about a lot of labor hours.
a lot of labor hours, thousands of hours.
This is easily the biggest catamaran center console. Is this going to be like? Is it going to have like a pilot house? What is it going to have?
This will have a sportfish pilot house.
A sportfish pilot house.
Yeah.
This is absolutely a monster. What's going to power something like this?
So this will have quad 600 Mercuries.
Wow. Can I jump in there?
You can.
All right, guys. Let's see a little bit of the layout of this, because you know what? This is absolutely nuts.
Okay, so watch your step, but I'm standing up in here where the salon's going to be.
Huge.
Huge.
It's going to be massive.
Right. In the center here, if the boat gets gyros, we put 3 Seakeeper gyros in here. And then all the rest of this has all been faired and in the process of being faired. This will get all drip and it'll be a Class A finish on the entire build. Every place you look in the bow, under lockers, everywhere is going to be Class A.
Explain to them Class A so they know.
Class A is an automotive finish like you would see on your car, where it's shiny and fair and smooth and painted.
Not that rough stuff that you're going to look under the actual.
Right.
It's going to be nice and pretty everywhere you go.
A whole nother level.
Yes.
So with the infusion process, our fiberglass work is amazing. It's beautiful as it is.
Yeah.
But we take it to the next level on a build like this.
I gotta go through here, guys. Wow. Okay. So up front, what do you got going on up front? What's going to happen in the front of the bow?
Okay. So this space up in here will have various cabin layouts. So it could have in the center here the main cabin, a queen size, king size bed, and on either side, depending on the layout, could be another bunk or 2.
So you get the performance of a catamaran with with the comforts of a sport fish.
Right.
That's unheard of.
Right. So I tell you what, this boat.
No wonder why Jimmy wanted it.
So you're going to be inside this cabin that is got thick glass.
Yeah.
And poured fiberglass around it, with a generator that's going to be running silent, outboard motors that you can't hear run at wide open throttle, and this is going to be one of the most quiet experiences ever. So smooth riding and silent running.
And yeah, and the performance in rough weather is just going to be incredible.
Right.
All right, let's continue walking, because now I'm really interested in showing them the entire process of the boat building. And I'm assuming we're at the furthest point, right? And we're gonna eventually walk towards assembly and just literally out the door to the point that you guys wrap them.
We'll go through trim and grind, we'll go through finishing, and then we'll go into assembly where we've got boat number 1 here being final assembly.
What's the beam on this? So they can see.
18 feet.
Okay guys, that is 18 feet. How are you gonna transport that out? You gotta take it on the water, right?
We're gonna do it in the middle of the night. Nobody's working.
I love that answer. There you go. Stephen Doherty, guys, in the middle of the night. Right now, Jimmy Buffett is smiling. All right, so we're gonna take them to the other side now. What are we gonna show them now on the other side?
So we'll go into metal fabrication. Now that it's not raining so hard.
All right, guys. Let me. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put my camera away because it is a little bit raining.
Yeah.
Guys, we're gonna go to the other side and we're gonna continue now. Wait for it. Okay, so I didn't put on my seatbelt, Steven. I apologize.
Oh, you're good.
And
We're only going across the street.
you have scan strut. These are supposed to be on boats.
You know what? We actually were the first boat company to use ScanStrut in the United States. And
wireless charging,
these were
guys.
some of the first ones that they sent us. Ended up in my truck. I had to test them. Not on a boat.
Okay, so where are we at right now?
Okay, so this is welding, fabrication, and machining.
Okay.
We happen to be building some truck bodies in here. These are going to F-650 trucks in Georgia, and they're going to go on a couple hot rod trucks.
All right, let's jump in there and see what's going on here, guys. It's been pouring crazy style. Let's see what we got over here. Look at this. It has not stopped. All right, so completely different, right? This has nothing to do with the boat.
It doesn't. You know what? In the end, I say I make stuff. And I can make all kinds of things, and I like making things.
Yeah.
And you know, most of what I make ends up looking like a boat, but all the processes are very similar. So here we are, we're building some high-end aluminum truck bodies. Not necessarily for a work truck, they're kind of expensive for that. These will be for hauling horses or race cars or just toys. You know
it's funny that you're saying this, right? I just took a trip cross country. I had to go ahead and help somebody with a boat that I sold, right? I drove the boat to California, long story short. And you know, along the way I had to stop and I was like, while I was there, I was like, you know what? I wish I just had a little cabin in this damn truck so I could just not even go anywhere and just stop at a rest stop, sleep comfortably, and then boom. Like, you know, like you could fabricate anything here. Like you could, this will be on the bed of the truck.
That's Alfred's cabin. So, you know, I actually built one of these for myself, and it was bigger, and I turned this compartment into a dog compartment.
Okay.
It had air conditioning, it had windows, and we had plans with the dogs hanging out in there while we traveled.
And you have 2 mascots. I met them earlier.
We got 2 of them that we take to work. Now, that being said, they never went in that dog box one time. They were always in the cabin with us.
If it were me, it'd probably be like, hey, put the dogs in the cabin. but listen, that's Alfred Montaner. At least I didn't put them on the top of my truck or like somebody put, some politician back in the days, right?
Yeah, right.
Cross country, right? Okay, so this is more of a finished product here.
So this one's almost done. So they're putting the doors on, latches.
Wow, dude, this is... So they'll just literally take off a brand new bed, slap this on.
Well, they'll buy a cabin chassis directly from, you know, Ford or International. They do a lot of Internationals, and it comes without a bed on it. And typically it'll be 4-wheel drive, and these will be painted the same color as the truck, all blinged up and installed.
Oh, okay, so you're making all your metal components.
Right. So here we have a second station that we're building for a 37. This is actually a prototype.
So are we not supposed to show this?
No, it's okay.
It's all right? All right. Because there's a lot of firsts that you do, right? Because you have these unbelievable ideas, you put them into market, and then somebody sees it at the show and says, how do we copy that?
Right, well, we've got to build it, we got to try it and test it first.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because you know I've done some walkthroughs of some manufacturing plants that build boats in aluminum. Why hasn't Stephen Doherty introduced an aluminum boat?
Well, you know, I did build an aluminum boat one time. I built one for Boston Whaler Commercial Products.
Okay.
And it was like a 40-ish foot boat. You know, there's a lot of labor hours that go into that, and they're not pretty boats. They're good work boats. And I'm really in the business of making a fiberglass, a fast, efficient, comfortable, you know, performance boat.
But you can make it if you wanted to, right?
If I wanted to, I'm going to have.
Because I'll tell you, it's a lot of work. And here's the thing, when I went to Bremerton, Washington, they actually teach the high school kids welding. So that whole area in Washington State, there's a whole bloodline of welding craftsmen, and it's not like we have that everywhere here in Florida.
No, so I'll tell you what, they obviously have some good politicians and good government that does the right thing and teaches the kids a trade so they can stay in their hometown and contribute to the local businesses. And that's something that has been lost. When I grew up, I took auto shop. I learned how to work on a car.
I remember taking that as well.
I learned sheet metal and welding. I learned how to weld in school.
Crazy.
And in junior high school, I learned how to weld. And now they've got drama class and some other crap that they don't necessarily need. So my wife is building a school.
Really?
And we're gonna teach kids.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So she's building a local school here. It's going to be a high school. I mean, she's not physically doing it herself. She's working with a team of people. She was the first one to put this all together in our town.
Wow.
And work with local authorities and get it passed. We're trying to do a charter school, but our local government isn't forward thinking like they are in Washington. So it's going to be a private school. And they can use vouchers because our great governor did the voucher system here in Florida. So they can take a voucher, they can go to any school they want, and it's going to be a school that's going to teach them from building rockets, because we build rockets locally here, and aircraft stuff, boat building.
So you'll do boat build. So here in assembly, you do boat parts, airplane parts, truck parts. So I see that there's a lot of ladders here as well.
Yeah.
So you guys are building everything here, and you're absolutely right. Anytime that you teach somebody a trade, they can use that trade anywhere in the world, right? And
this is absolutely a transferable trade from one industry to the next.
Yeah, whoever learns something here, they can go anywhere in the world and be useful. AI ain't gonna change this.
No, I don't think you can do the welding and fabrication with AI.
Yeah.
So we've got frames here for our next mold. We've got a 30-foot hull mold that we're getting ready to brace. And then this is where we're building stairs. So we're bending up all the handrails, and we're over here welding up the stair treads on. All these components here came from next door, where we cut all the aluminum on a water jet.
Are we going to be able to see that water jet or no?
Yes, we will. And then we bend it, and it comes over here as a kit. Just weld it up.
So are manufacturers buying specific metal parts for their boats from you guys as well, or no?
We don't really do a lot of metal fabrication for other boat builders. I have in the past to get somebody out of a jam.
Yeah.
During COVID, for instance, we did a lot of stainless steel work. And
but you just do it for yourself?
We mainly do it for
Solace.
ourselves, and then we sell the stairs to the industry.
All right, guys. Wow. And this is like when they go to the boat shows and they see these massive yachts that people go on and step on and people don't slide. And you know, I've been doing behind the scenes video with Informa, right? So John and the folks at Informa have actually allowed me to take my studio this year to Flibs.
Right, that's
which you guys are sponsoring my cruise. So guys, I'm super excited to bring my studio. Now they're gonna see what I do. Like I'm showing what you guys do, and I'm just excited to show them the whole process of how Alfred Montaner operates at Flibs. And now in the behind the scenes video that I do at Flibs, they're gonna see a lot of your ladders. And you customize them with the name of the actual company.
Right.
So any company, you use the water jet.
We design their logo or take their logo and put it into the design of the stairs, cut it and label it up. So a lot of times we'll do this for with Mercury or Yamaha,
okay,
Suzuki on there, and they'll actually contribute to the cost of some of the steps with their co-op funds and help pay for them.
Guys, and simple, practical. You pick it up, it rolls. All right, where are we going now?
All right, so let's go to the machine shop.
All right, guys, we're continuing. This video, I mean, think about it. Like, we haven't even gone to assembly or any of that fun stuff yet. Wow.
So in order to do assembly and for everything, you know, we need all these different departments. So we need lamination and we need finishing, trim and grind, wire harness manufacturing, metal components, machining, and everything has to come together for the final department, which is main assembly.
So wait, wire harnessing, you guys make your own wires?
We do our
everything.
own wire harnesses in-house, yep.
Ooh, that's gonna be interesting. That's on the other side?
It is, it's across the street.
Okay, hold on. Tell me a little bit about what's going on here machinery-wise, because I want them to see how you use this on the boats.
Old-fashioned equipment here. We still use it every day. And, you know, doing minor machining operations on prototypes or even just drilling a hole. It's kind of a fancy drill press here. And then across the way over here, we go from a machine that came off of a
warship, probably.
A warship,
yeah.
Right? I know one of them did.
Which, let me tell you something, are still extremely sought after. All these machines, anybody that's ever used them are always trying to find parts, or they make their own parts to keep them going, because they've been so efficient for so many years.
Right.
Okay, so what do we got going on here?
So this is the more modern machine that replaced those machines over there. So this is a mill, and this does almost everything fully automated, from changing tool bits to doing cutting and going from one operation to the next.
So all these are these bits here? What's going on here?
So here's lots of different bits. We'll put a radius on something and mill bits, but up here we hold another 40 bits.
Okay, so
this turret will turn and up to 40-ish bits.
Okay, and he's working on something now? Here?
Yep, so over here,
let's see what we got going on here.
So this is a lathe. Can you open the door without shutting down? Without throwing his camera?
Yep. No, it's fine.
It's all right. Let him see what's going on inside here.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I think I just touched something there by accident.
Mark, what are you making here?
Mold pins, doing mold pins for the new molds that they've got coming over from the main building. So we're getting some stock back up and getting everything rolling for any new projects that Steven's got coming down the line.
So these are the alignment pins and bolt pins for the molds. We go through quite a few of them.
Yes, we do.
And I see
Right
you have your workstation.
So here's one here.
Set up exactly the way you like it over here.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're getting the platinum tour today from the master.
All right, so yeah, this is great, and I mean, so without naming names, you've done some manufacturing for some major, you know, companies.
We've
Fortune
built
500
parts
companies. Yeah.
for lots of companies.
Yeah.
You know, aircraft stuff to boat builders. You know, lots of different industries.
All right.
Some stuff might even be heading into space.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, I just saw an article today that Elon said he wants to be in Mars in 2 years. Make it happen, Steven. Give him the parts he needs. All right. Okay, so we're leaving machine shop now. Guys they're starting to come back from lunch. We'll see some people working on the boats now at assembly.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll stop at the water jet department first.
Okay.
And we'll see parts being cut with water and then bent. And then and that's all the stuff coming in, feeding our metal shop. And then we'll go over to final assembly.
This is a massive operation that
have a
you
lot
have.
going on.
Like what, 250, 300,000 square feet of workspace?
200,000 square feet. And you know, it's a funny thing, I just had a boat builder, Barrett from Mag Bay was here last week.
Okay.
And
Great
and
boats, by the way.
Yeah, he's a great family boat builder, and we've been friends for a while. So he took a walk through, first time going through the facility, and he said, you know what? I feel pretty good about my operation now as far as the complexity and what I have to deal with. He said, man, you got a lot going on here.
Yeah.
And I do. I have a stressful day, and you know, getting into everything. We do a lot more than most other boat builders do.
Well, but that also makes your product more consistent as far as delivery time, quality. So yeah, you can outsource a lot, right?
Yep.
But the reality is ultimately when you do everything yourself and they're very good at it, that's just the way to go in the end. That also comes with the stress. But in the end, you're hiring and employing Americans here in America, which I think is fantastic,
Yep.
right?
Made in America.
Made in America and employed over here, and you're helping your local community. So
Yep.
there's no price for that for me, right? Like
Right.
you see the story, and this is essentially a small business, right? You're not like a major Fortune 500 company that has shareholders, just dumping money. This is, hey, we've been working our whole lives to get to this point, and here we are. And you haven't been able to do it without the help of all your employees, right?
Right. I mean, this is really family owned and operated.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So we literally have to get in this truck to go from. Okay, so the water jet is where?
It's right next door. We'll go ahead and jump in the truck since we need to take it to get it across the street without getting wet.
Look how
And,
we've had at least 4 inches in the last hour fall here. Never would have.
Yep.
All right, let's go. You know, I literally traveled cross country. It didn't rain once. I got to Florida and it hit me with like, as soon as I crossed the Florida line, boom.
Yeah, welcome back to sunny Florida.
Welcome back, guys. All right, let's get back in and we're gonna go to the water jet. Let's go. Now, explain to me, Steven, what do you fabricate for the actual Solace boats with the water jet?
So we do lots of things here. So we call this flat metal processing, but we're cutting more than just metal. We're cutting some of the core materials. We're cutting all the plastic that would be put in the boat to receive fasteners. We're cutting aluminum backing plates, and along with all the other components that we fabricate together to make some of the boat parts.
Yeah.
So here we've got a water jet machine. And here we're cutting 3/8 thick aluminum with 60,000 PSI water and a little bit of garnet.
So that's why the cuts will be super precise and perfect.
Right.
Now, what are you using these for? These plates?
You know, I'm not even sure what it is.
I'm sure it's being used somewhere.
Some kind of mounting plate.
Okay.
And then over here we've got a shear. And this actually did come out of a shipyard in Jacksonville. And this will shear up to 1/4 inch plate steel. We've got various materials that we cut. Over here we've got another 5-axis water jet. But see here, This is sheet ABS plastic, and we're cutting components out that go in with the core material. It's for screw holding, or for where we're installing a rod holder or a cleat or something that has a lot of compression. Even though we bolt it, it won't squeeze and compress like foam does.
Okay.
So we use it for reinforcing. And it's an ABS plastic, so the fiberglass laminate actually bonds to it chemically.
So it just makes it even more rigid.
Right. And then here we've got PVC foam core material.
Now, with this is what's going to be used in lamination where we just were?
Yep. So this is a Divinicel H130. So this is used in the bottom of the boat for the hull bottom coring.
Okay. So the kits will be actually cut here that you need here?
Some of the parts will be cut here. Some of the parts will be cut with the router. And some will be hand cut with the girls at the cutting table. And they'll all be put together in a box.
Interesting. So you already have everything numbered precisely for each model, like the 32, correct, the 41.
Yep. So then we've got press brakes over here. So when we're done cutting some of the flat metal components, we bend things up here before it goes over to welding and fabrication.
So I'm assuming this is like something you've enjoyed doing along the way.
Probably my favorite part.
Really?
Is welding and machining, and all metal fabrication. I like doing it.
You like building things? Yeah.
I like making things.
So at home, do you do some of this stuff? Like, do you have? Because I actually went to. Wait a second. Hey, I just heard something out. I just heard something. We broke news here. Yeah, she gave him the look. I heard you're opening up a school.
One day.
Let's go.
One day.
It's in the works. It's in the works.
Hey, has Ryan said, can you pick me up from school already or what?
About 20 times.
Right, really?
Yeah.
Listen, tell him wait for it.
Wait for it. I know the weather's not good right now either.
All right.
Your lunch is ready.
All right. Well, okay. So, Sarah, hold on. Let's talk about that. Come over here because you know and you see all the things that come out of Steven's mind. I was just asking you, at home, do you like to tinker with things? Do you have your own little garage and doing your own things?
This is his garage.
This is his garage.
So
he'll come here.
I cook.
Okay, so that's the second passion.
Yeah.
I don't cook.
Oh, hold on a second. This is getting good here. Okay, so what is he really good at cooking? Steak, ribeye.
Ribeye. That's about all
We got some ribeye coming over here right now, guys. Wait for it. So we're gonna do some lunch.
We're having barbecue.
Let's go. We still haven't even shown them the majority of the facility. We have, I don't know. Yeah, I might need a golf cart over here. This place is massive.
There's a few.
Are you guys excited about flips?
Yeah, of course.
I'm telling you, we're gonna have a bunch of people going into the shed, seeing my studio, and we're gonna talk about this moment, showing them the actual boats that are actually in production here right now.
And we get to see when you do your magic.
Yes, it's gonna be amazing. All right, wait for it, guys. We're gonna go have some lunch here with Sarah and Stephen Doherty in his garage. It's really nice garage, but that's what you said. Wait for it. Do you ever have to turn them off and be like, hey, that's it, enough work, that's it. He shuts off like a switch. That's like me. When I'm done with the day, I fall asleep peacefully, and my wife's like, how do you fall asleep so easily? That's me. She's like, I go, well, get off of your Instagram reels and stop laughing all night, right? And then in the morning she goes, I'm so tired. I'm like, boy, you've been laughing all night. Listen. All right, guys, let's go. Wait for it. Actually, you know what? Before we leave, you're gonna sandwich us now? Oh, you know what? We were gonna leave.
Okay, do it.
Okay, guys, let them do this. All right. All right. So I'm assuming that you've simplified, like how you guys sandwich stuff as well, right? So I see that you have this to bolt on. Tell me a little bit about that. What was the thought process?
we do all of our molds the same, whether it be a small hardtop,
Okay.
a little hatch cover, or a full-size hull and deck.
Okay.
And we use alignment pins that are also places where we can install the bolts. So here we go, we've got the two halves with the glue on the bottom side, and they're lowering the outer, which is the top of the hardtop.
Okay.
They put a ratchet strap on there to keep the piece of fiberglass from falling out as they're rotating it.
Make sure you hold it tight. Walk my way. Alright. Watch that, baby.
Now I know when I went on that 41 with Daniel, and he drove past me and sprayed me with about 1,000 gallons of water. Now I know why I didn't hear anything rattling.
Right.
Now,
But you know, it's all, you're right, the boat doesn't rack, it doesn't twist and tear itself apart. So they're dropping on these 1.1 bolts, and then they're gonna come around with an impact wrench, tighten everything up, and it'll be all put together precisely. The edge seam will be the proper thickness, and the two halves will come together and be the proper thickness.
all right, guys. Well, we'll let these guys continue working. Thanks a lot, fellas.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's now. Where are we going now? Electrical, you said?
We'll go ahead and do a walk through the wire shop.
All right. So you guys have been building it primarily here in this part of Florida for how many years? Throughout the family?
Oh man, so I moved to Florida with my family back in '89.
Wow.
And that's when we opened up the Boston Whaler factory, and I was working there when I was a young kid.
Yeah.
And I was asked to come down to Florida and open up a new factory, and there was only about 8 or 10 of us that came down, opened up this factory, and trained the locals how to build boats.
Yeah.
That was the shore.
And now it's a big thing over here because there's a lot of boat building in the area.
That's right.
Oh, okay, so you were a young kid, and you know, I see Ryan on every single boat show.
Right.
How involved is Ryan with what's going on here? Like, I'm sure you're teaching him, you know, the ways of boat building. What's he excited about?
So Ryan is creative. He likes building things. He likes fixing things. He likes breaking things.
Which is good. You got to break things because you got to know that's what you want to give your customers.
You got to run them and test them.
Yeah.
So he knows our product line. He's learning how to work with customers at boat shows. He's learning how to work in finishing and put on patches and assembly and electrical, and he's learning all the components of what it takes to run a boat business.
Does he actually catch fish when he goes out on the 37?
Now he does.
Now he does.
Yeah.
All right, because that was a big debate at one of the shows. I remember that.
Right.
All right, so where are we going now?
Okay, we're going to head into the wire room. They got it locked down.
All right, guys. This is like Fort Knox in
Thank
here.
you.
All right. Wait for it. Oh, yeah.
Come on here and work. Oh.
All right.
Okay. So we call this the wire room. And in here we're assembling wire harnesses. We're building wire harnesses. We're building all the main battery cables. And we do all the electrical in all of our boats. And you know, I tried using a vendor years ago to build my wire harnesses and do things. The lead times are not there, and when I want to change something or upgrade something, it takes a long time to do it, and it's very challenging. And we really, frankly, couldn't find somebody to build wire harnesses at the level we were looking for. So behind you here is a couple of boat kits. So these are harnesses all ready to go. You can see here we label all the wires. They're color-coded to an ABYC standard, but then they're also labeled individually. We use Deutsch plug connectors that are waterproof. They're the best connectors you can buy. And when we wire a boat, they're all the same, and everything is plug and play.
And they have everything here to build everything electrical from point A to point Z completely.
Yeah, that's right. So we do battery cables. We have big hydraulic crimpers.
Okay.
And all the right tools. We have all the right crimper tools for putting the ends on the plugs.
So okay,
We assemble electrical panels. So we're putting some panels together here. We're actually kind of finishing up doing a battery switch panel here.
are you guys actually doing these panels here from
So we are
scratch as well?
outsourcing these panels.
Okay.
And then we bring them in, we test them, we go through them, we upgrade them if we need to.
Okay, so here's the thing. As a consumer, right, somebody that's buying a Solace boat, I would love seeing a video like this, because instead of actually trying to call 1,000 places to find the part for my boat, you guys can make one right then and there and then ship it out to them.
And we stock all the components.
Yeah.
And we can diagnose issues if a customer has an issue and tell you where to go to fix it. But I'll tell you what, if you look at this panel, all the components we're using are the best components that money can buy. From the breakers here for all the components. We're not just putting fuses in. The battery switches over here, you can see, are all the switches have plugs on them. So if you were to have a switch go down, you just unscrew it, you plug it in, and you're not having to cut wires. A lot of these switches nowadays come with wires on them, and you've got to cut your wires and resolder them together. Here we use a plug.
Tell me a little bit about. You said something that I really enjoyed and that I liked. That you said, hey, we're gonna have a lot of new boats that are gonna have just regular switching like back in the days. And tell me a little bit why. That's obviously it's an option. You can still have whatever you want, but tell me a little bit about the thought process.
Okay, so some time ago, the world was going digital, and in the marine industry, and we did that so that all the components in the boat could talk to each other and work together as a unit. And there's some benefits to being digital, but the drawback is you can't have a regular mechanic at a boatyard work on the boat and know the process of diagnosing an issue and fixing it. You have computerized parts now that when they fail, they fail.
So it can be a multiple failure with one circuit's gone.
Sure, when you lose one computerized component, you could lose 8 or 10 circuits.
Yeah.
Or you could lose the whole boat. Now, when we did use digital switching, our major components, our bilge pumps, and all of our Garmin electronics and our engines were mechanically connected. They were not going through the digital system. But you could lose everything else.
Yeah.
And that could be a problem, and you can't fix it while you're at sea. So we just decided, after going full digital on a few models, to go back to the right way, I think.
Let's go. I can't tell you how excited I am about that. You know why? Because nothing bothers me more when I'm in rough weather and we got maybe some water on the dash or on the actual GPS, and you're trying to just go ahead and figure out what the hell's going on. It's not working.
Right.
Not because it's broken. It's just what?
No, you got a wet finger and you're trying to mess with it. Yep.
And the Garmin or any other brand will go crazy, right?
Sure. And you're offshore.
Yeah.
And you're in rough seas, your eyeballs are bouncing,
yeah,
and everything's moving around, and you're trying to touch a switch or a component,
yeah,
and it's hard to do. So we went back to just a regular switch.
I wish they did that with phones.
I agree.
You remember?
You want to go back to your flip phone?
Yeah, they get your flip phone. All right. So everything here electrical. Where are we going to show them in here? Other things that they can be interested in, and
so once we build switch panels, wire harnessing components, we come over here and we connect everything up, and we'll actually test all the components as we're doing it.
So you have a Garmin here that you guys are even going to test everything, ready to go. So you already know what's going to happen before it happens.
And you can see the wire board here. So this is a 28, 30, 32 console harness. So everything is labeled on the board. All the colors, the wires are labeled on the board. It tells them exactly how long they go and what connector to put on, and everything is engineered and flawless.
So they'll switch this panel based on the boat that they're on.
Correct.
which is so smart, right?
Yeah, we just pull this panel off.
Put
We've got
another
a back
one.
room full of a bunch of wire boards, and there's multiple harnesses that go into each boat.
That's smart, simplistic. One of the things that Stephen Doherty likes is simplicity.
Well,
Simplicity.
we get complicated, but in areas where it could be simple, we try to make it simple.
All right,
you know, the
guys.
other thing we do is a little different. Is our minimum gauge wire is a 14 gauge. We don't go any smaller than 14. We could power the circuits with smaller, but it's not robust enough to have on a boat.
Yeah.
So we just do 14 gauge. All the wire is tin coated copper with a thicker jacket that repels the water. It's the best you can buy. Not a lot of people see that.
Well, you know what? They're seeing it now, Stephen. And I think what people always see is just the pretty stuff, which is me at the boat shows showing you walk around this amazing boat. But there's actually people working really hard to make that happen. And for me to see your team out here doing what they're doing is just it's just impressive.
And it takes craftsmen and craftswomen through the entire process, from the design aspect and the engineering to the actual manufacturing. It really takes people that has the talents in each department. And we have that, and we build on that.
All right, so where we're gonna head now? We've got electrical,
Okay.
we've done lamination.
So we'll head through finishing.
Okay, so this is already getting closer to the end of the video, where we're gonna see an actual. Do we have any finished boats ready to go?
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
do.
we do.
Oh yes.
All right.
And guys, whatever you guys don't see here, you'll see at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show.
Yep.
Which is right around the corner. And you guys are sponsoring my cruise event. So if you guys go to the actual booth where Solace is at, ask Ryan or Sarah for the pass into my studio, because you guys are gonna have actual access to my shed, which is gonna be cool for
we're
some of
looking
your
forward to that.
subscribers. Yeah.
We're going to see how you do it.
listen,
You're going to see
that's
now
right.
how I do it. Now we get a chance to see how you do it.
That is why I wanted to take. It's a one and done. I'm only taking my shed one time because it's a nightmare, right? I got to
Gotcha.
disconnect everything, my jokers, everything. It's so cool in there.
Yeah,
but
nice.
I'm excited. All right, let's go, guys. Let's continue.
Okay, so
here.
you know what? Let's go ahead while we're right here.
Okay, let's see what's going on
Okay,
here.
so we've got a hatch cover,
Okay.
and this is a ladder hatch cover. So we're taping off the edge here. We've already sanded and prepped the surfaces. We've got finished fiberglass inside and out. He's taping everything up. He's going to come back and spray gel coat on, and then sand it and buff it. And these edges are going to be perfectly finished. This is something you don't see on other boats.
And I'll tell you right now, hands down, you guys fabricate the best finishes out on the market, right? Like when we're at the shows, I'm always looking at different things on manufacturers. And you see where people cut corners. You guys don't cut corners.
We don't cut corners. And we try to bring everything to another level.
All right, this cap is from what boat?
Okay, so this is a ring deck from a 32. So this just came out of lamination, went through our trim and grind department, where they've cut all the holes, they've cut all the edges, they've back-faced everything. This is infused, so the fiberglass work on this is amazing.
Okay.
And we saw that earlier. Very uniform fiberglass on the backside. So it's come over here to finishing, and so now, with all the handwork that goes into this, we have some small defects here and there. We have some areas where the finish might not be perfect, so they come in and they'll sand and buff and tweak and make this part flawless.
Oh, I see something that we saw earlier. Wait for it. Okay. So
I don't want to focus too much on that part right now, but
because
this
it's a
part
big
here,
thing, right?
It is.
All right.
So this is a 32-foot hull, and just like that ring deck, this came out of the mold.
Okay.
It went through trim and grind. They've cut the perimeter, they've drilled all the holes, cut out all the hatch openings, and now they're going through it and making the fiberglass work flawless. And you can see this is a methacrylate here,
Okay.
where the side is bonded to the hull.
Yeah.
We've got methacrylate in the stringer area. And this is truly a one-piece boat at this point. Our hull and our liner are mated together. The sides are all one piece. The stringers come up and make contact here. The fuel tank cavity goes down and makes contact with the bottom of with the hull. Our bilge liner comes down and makes contact. And this is what makes our boats so rigid and so light and so quiet.
Okay, so are you guys, I know you have a lot of experience with aluminum, right? Are you guys making your own fuel tanks, or are you outsourcing that?
We don't make fuel tanks. I don't want the liability, and there are people that are just really good at making fuel tanks. I have made fuel tanks. I make fuel tanks for truck bodies,
okay,
but I don't want to be in that business.
All right, so do you mind letting us know who you use? Because it might be someone local. I know that you guys have worked with someone local.
So we use Florida Marine Tank,
okay,
and RDS.
Okay, all right.
Two great manufacturers.
All right. So where is the actual cutting department? Where are they cutting, like the holes and drilling?
So right out here.
Okay, that's something I want to see, because like when it's kind of raw, right? This is kind of like, you got to have a lot of skills, because you have a perfect piece coming out.
I'll tell you what, you know, this is not necessarily the most fun cutting fiberglass in a boat factory. These guys love doing what they do.
Yeah.
And they're very good at it. So here we have a 28 hull.
The new 28.
The new 28 with its deck. Again, it just came out of the mold all together, all made it together, and they're drilling all the holes and they're getting it ready to go into finishing. And this is boat number 3.
Okay, do they have preset markings
so they
or
have
templates?
Jigs, yeah, they have templates, jigs, and fixtures.
Okay.
They have the mold is marked in some cases, and they drill every hole using these fixtures.
And it's really loud in here. I don't know if our mics are picking up.
No, it's pretty loud.
It's pretty loud in here, guys. So okay, while we're here, tell me a little bit about this 28. Is this 28 going to be at the show?
It will.
This one will be at Flibs?
We're going to have 2 of these at the show. We've got a booth on the inside and another booth in the water.
Okay, so come here. While we're here, we'll tease this. Tell me a little bit about this particular 28, right? So tell me a little bit about it.
Okay, so we've got a little bit higher freeboard than a traditional bay boat or hybrid. We have a double step hull. We have a perfectly crafted bow with our reverse chines and our lift strings, and it's designed to be an ultra dry ride. That's what we do. We make ultra dry boats, and it all happens right up in here.
So I definitely see this here, right? So that spray is not going to get on you.
No, the idea here is we have to know what direction is the water flowing when we hit a wave. And just like when you're playing pool and you're shooting a ball against the bumper, you know what direction it's going to bounce off at.
Yeah.
So once we know what the direction of the water is, we put reverse chines at angles and contours to direct that water down, and that's how we achieve a dry ride. We also control the water coming up.
And that's gonna prevent that splash, guys.
So then over here we've got our double step bottom hull, and this increases our efficiency by as much as 30%, which means we can go 30% further, 30% faster. Our fuel economy is significantly better, and with our concept, with this little design on the side, it looks like it's just there just for visual aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's got a purpose.
Yeah.
This all has a purpose. Its purpose is to allow a step bottom boat to plane at slow speeds, which is not normal. Normally the step bottom boats have to go fast. These boats can run slow.
What do you think is going to be the weight on this boat when it's all said and done?
It's going to be 6,700 pounds.
6,700. Twin or single engine?
Twin engines.
Twins.
Twin 300.
That's a platform you think is going to do well for
the
this?
standard boat is the Twin 300. It's going to run about almost 65 miles an hour top end.
Nice.
With a half a tank of fuel.
Wow. Okay, so you have the prototype on the water already? The hull number 1 already, or no?
Yeah, hull number 1 is actually traveling around seeing some dealers right now. Hull
Okay.
number 2 is on the line, and we're going to go see that in a bit.
Okay. And what number was this one here?
This is hull number 3.
3. All right, guys. Let's continue here. I love seeing that. Hey, you want to tell one of this employee? Wait a second. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. You want to tell her something? Go ahead. Tell her something. She's sitting on the job.
Yeah,
Steven, or wait, is she going to tell you something?
All right, so you
She's
know what?
working the phone.
The thing is I tell people that, you know, I come in the factory and I work and I do my thing, and this is my my social butterfly, right? So she's on the phone, you know, doing her magic.
Yes.
Which is, you know, the social side of the business.
Of course, it's huge.
Yeah, she does a good job of that.
And you know who's doing a good job of that too? Ryan.
Ryan's excellent at that.
Ryan is, I think he's a little too social,
Yeah.
right? She was telling me, you know, Sarah was telling me that on one of the shows, Ryan came back to the show wearing another manufacturer dealer.
Right, he does that often.
He was little.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's continue. You know what? I might have to put him on. I want to see if he puts me on some fish. Maybe we can go ahead and get on the water. Here.
You know what? He's been pretty good lately at getting on the fish.
All right, guys. So more parts ready to
Okay,
be sandwiched.
so over here, our aluminum fabricated parts came out of our weld shop, and they come over here, and now we're prepping. So everybody else is powder coating their aluminum.
Okay.
And at my last venture, the powder coating just didn't work out well. And it was peeling and corroding prematurely. So we just decided that we're going to use the very best process of coating our aluminum products.
Okay.
So we sandblast the metal.
Okay.
We put on 2 coats of epoxy primer, and then we come back and we put on 2 coats of the base paint, and then we put on 2 coats of clear. And that gives us the very best coating on the aluminum that we know how to put on. The base paint is called Coroflon. Coroflon's used for high-rise buildings where you have an opportunity to paint them one time and you don't want to come back and recoat them again.
Yeah.
And that's what we use. It's not the cheapest product out there, but it's the best product that we know of.
And there's nothing like having a boat that's 5-6 years old that looks brand new.
Right.
Right? And that's what matters.
That's
so
what
your
matters.
resale value on a Solace, let's just say.
Right. Well, you know what? That doesn't just come with the paint. That comes with the upholstery and the fabric we use.
Yeah.
The fabric is silicone. It's made to hold up in the environment with the sun. The gel coat is the very best gel coat we can buy. So, you know, people don't realize the difference in gel coats. I can buy gel coat for $1.50 a pound.
Yeah.
Our gel coat is over $5 a pound. So we spend a lot more money on the gel coat on the outside of the boat. It's less crack resistant, or more crack resistant, I should say. It's not going to fade. It's not going to chip as easy, and it's just a good tough coating, which is what you need for a boat you're going to use a lot.
Okay, so we're getting closer to the end. I see that they're actually doing some polishing here already. So,
Yep.
so we're getting close to more of the finished products, right?
Yep,
We
so-
have upholstery.
We'll go up the hill and we'll look at boats in assembly.
All right, guys, let's get to assembly. And obviously this is an oven right here, right?
So this is our paint booth that doubles as an oven, and then here we've got a paint booth to paint the entire boat. So we do the full process here.
You know what? Let's show them the paint booth if we can. You know what? Because
Okay, we'll
I
run it
want
this
them
way.
to see that. Guys, I'm going to take a quick break real quick, and we're going to continue.
Okay.
All right, guys. So getting into the paint room.
So we've got 2 paint booths. We've got a small paint booth and a big paint booth. This is our mixing room. So guys come in here and in an explosion hazardous location room, and they mix all their paints, and then they come in here, and this goes into our little room that the lights are turned off on right now.
Okay, so this is for smaller parts. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so we spray all of our small parts, our aluminum products in here. And then we've got our big booth.
The access that you are giving these people is unprecedented. Look at
You're
this,
going to see
guys.
everything we do.
Yeah, guys, look at this.
A little loud in here with all the fans on. And we can bring a full-size 41-foot boat in here
Yeah.
and paint it in a great environment. So So right now they're just painting some metal components for a generator housing.
There's so much. I mean, the ceilings are high as well, so you can paint a massive boat in
Well,
here.
we bring boats in with full stations.
Yeah.
So the boat's already all assembled.
Yeah.
And we tape off the whole boat, we cover everything up, we bring it in and shoot it at the end.
At the very, very end. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's continue here. It's not every day they get to see this, Stephen. It's like we're walking in from one world to another, to another, to another. So, all right. So obviously we don't want to mention other names of huge corporations you guys do stuff with, but you manufacture other things. Like I just can think about the stuff that you guys manufacture for the shows, right? A lot
We
of dealers buy what?
So the dealers buy our boat show steps. So if you go to a boat show, you can't help but to see our steps.
Yes, all over the place.
Yeah, so we have probably 95% of the steps in all the boat shows. And that came out, I sold a boat company, and at that boat company, I made steps so our customers could safely, comfortably get up and see the boats.
Yeah.
And after I sold that company,
Yeah.
they stopped manufacturing those steps, and one of my dealers called me and said, "Hey, Steven, can you build some steps?" I said, "I'm really not in the step business. I really can't do that." And he said, "Well, I'll tell you what, you're going to be in the step business." So I don't know, about a month went by, and he calls me up and he says, "Steven, I need 30 sets of steps." I said, "I guess you're right, I'm in the step business."
There you go.
And we started with that, and we are building about somewhere between 20 and 30 sets of steps every week, and it's nonstop. They're great steps. They look good.
Aluminum.
Aluminum.
Right? Yeah.
They have wheels on them, so salespeople can tote them around the yard. And you know what? You can buy these steps for your own boat in your own yard. And a lot of people have the boat on the trailer in their yard. So
Okay.
then
We just passed some engines as well right
we
now.
got a few engines in stock.
I just saw that right now.
Over here we've got the stock room. We'll take a peek in here. We'll see if anybody's working.
How you guys doing?
Good.
So first thing you notice is a little cooler in here.
Yes.
And so it's climate controlled, partly due to wanting our hardware and the boxes and everything to be dry and good, and partly because the guys that work in here and the girls that work in here like it nice and cool.
And you have everything here. You know everybody in the other departments are going to go ahead and remind you guys this, right? How good
Yeah.
you guys have it here.
Yeah.
So we made those.
Okay, so all the parts that you would need or things that you need to fabricate will all end up here, and it's inventoried and then sourced out.
Yep. So here's an interesting part that we designed and built here. And so this is for a bigger boat, a 56-foot boat that we're building. And this goes on the last step in the back of the boat. This is made out of stainless steel. And it opens up, and this is our water intake for our sea chest. 2 through-hole fittings go in here. This piece goes on the back and can be adjusted to come down and scoop more or less water. So we can adjust that.
Wow.
And this part is being packaged up right now to go out and be electro-polished.
That and all these things that we've been seeing have been pretty fascinating. We're getting closer down to the end. We're going to see what are we going to see that's finished, that's already out? Because I know that you already have been shipping boats to your dealers, right?
Yep. So we're going to come out and we're going to see lots of boats in various states of completion. And I know I've got one boat, maybe two that are shipping out today or tomorrow. So we'll get on board those boats and we'll see what they look like.
All right, guys.
Now, over here on the right is this 56-foot project that we're working on.
Which is that
And-
huge mold that we saw earlier in the video, which is massive.
So this boat was going to be Jimmy Buffett's boat.
Okay.
And
Oh my goodness.
and he was due here any minute, and he got sick and he was unable to make it. So he was really unable to see the boat come along this far.
This
So
has
it's
got to
getting
be one of
completed.
the biggest No, for sure, this is the biggest catamaran I've ever seen, without a doubt.
So this is a 56-foot boat. It's going to be powered with quad 600 Mercuries. This boat came out of the mold weighing about 12,000 pounds, and for what it is, it's relatively light. So we're expecting the performance on this boat to be really good.
Oh my goodness. Let's see what we can show them. Okay. Please tell me you're going to do more than one of these.
So we've got boat number 2 in the mold. So we're building these for Roy Merritt.
Okay.
At Merritt Yachts.
Yes.
And really he's the brains behind this whole thing. We're the builder.
Yes.
And you know, we're able to put in some our manufacturing process and techniques, and infusing all the parts and doing all that, and building and making all the bracketry and all the stuff on the interior. So it's really it's between, you know, Roy and myself, and we've come together to build, I think, probably one of the best catamaran boats on the market.
This is going to be an absolute monster. And it's the name is what on this boat? What do they call it?
Okay, so this is going to be the Last Mango. So that was going to be Jimmy Buffett's. You know, that's his boat. Is the Last Mango. This is going to continue to be the Last Mango. It's keeping its name. It's keeping its color.
Wow.
And there's just a few accoutrements on the inside that are changing. For the most part, though, this was being completed just like Jimmy wanted it.
How involved was Jimmy on this build?
Oh, he was very involved.
Yeah.
So he sat down and looked at every drawing and went through the whole concept with Roy and Merritt. And together they designed his dream. This was really his last dream boat and his last build. When
you think about being on the water, having a good time, you think about Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, we're playing his music.
Listen, all the time.
Exactly.
I mean, listen, there's not one boat I've ever been on in my life that you don't hear Jimmy Buffett on.
Right.
At least 5 times while you're on it.
Right. And you know what? We hear it more now than we ever did.
Yeah.
So let's go look on the inside.
Oh, we could actually see inside.
Yeah.
So how far along into completion is this particular boat?
So this is probably, I don't know, maybe 40 or 50% along the way.
All right, guys, this is an absolute treat. Steven, you know they're gonna want more of these, right? After they watch this video.
Oh yeah. So we got several boats on order and several parts in the build process.
Guys, this is unprecedented, behind the scenes.
All right. So come on in here.
Oh my goodness.
And you know, again, this is we've got it tented. We've got the air conditioning on.
Yes.
And these guys aren't used to sweating. They got a nice environment. But we also painted in here. So this was tented really so that we could apply the paint. This has got a Class A bilge, and we saw that in the boat in the mold.
Yes.
And this is what it looks like after it's got all the paint work done. And now they're designing and building and putting the boat together as they go on boat number 1.
So is there, why did he choose a cat boat, right? What was his, I mean.
So Jimmy, he liked new technology and what he thought was the best boat out there. He wasn't looking to take a bunch of people on the boat. He just wanted to go out and fish and enjoy the water. And a catamaran is one of the fastest, most comfortable ways to get there.
So one of the things that you lack, because it's a cat, right? You lack living space. In this case, it's so big that you're not going to lack anything.
This boat's going to have living space.
Yeah.
So it's such a big boat, and we've got a large house on it. The house is a sport fish styled house, so it's pretty big. And then in the center, we've got the stateroom, and then we've got a bunk off to the port side. So this will sleep 6 people comfortably.
We gotta come back. I gotta make the drive. When you guys are gonna show the Last Mango coming out of here, my channel needs to see that.
All right, we'll give you a call when it's heading down the road.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and continue with some other Solaces that are almost out of here. Unreal.
Smile, you're on Candy Camera. All right.
So a lot of your guys have been with you. Look at that. Right? They've been with you for a long time, right? Right? And that's a testament of your leadership, right? When you can have a group of guys or women or everybody that's in sync working together, productivity is better, the production is better, the quality is better, everything is better.
I couldn't do it without them.
You can't.
I can't.
You can't.
And I can't build all these boats myself.
Yeah.
I can't build the quality and the craftsmanship without a team. And,
Yeah.
And you're right. I've had this team for a long time. They've followed me through other boat companies, and they didn't all come at one time, but eventually lots of them have made it here.
And the culture, right? You brought the culture with them, right? So a lot of people, when you know who you're working with, whether it's good, bad, different opinions, attitudes, they know what they're getting when they're going to work with Steven and Sarah and the whole team.
Yeah, you know,
they know what they're getting.
We're truly a family business. Both Sarah and I are on the floor, probably more than in the office, and working closely hand in hand with the people that work for us.
I just saw someone in tears prior, right?
Yeah.
Regarding a scenario and a situation which you were involved in. We had to actually pause the video, right?
Yeah.
So you can attend to that, and Sarah was attending to it too.
We have a family that was working here, and they lost one of their loved ones, and you know, we went to the hospital with them, and very sad, young guy, and but you know what? Again, this is part of having a family business.
Yes, absolutely. And for me to see you guys do what you do, because those are the stories that no one ever knows, no one ever hears. And as a consumer, what I care about is are they going to pick up? I have an issue, I have a problem, I don't know about something. Are the people at Solace going to pick up? Are they going to help me? And you know, a lot of times when people buy a boat, they just buy the family.
You know what? It's not just about a good-looking boat that performs well. It's got to have the customer service behind it.
Yeah.
And you know, once I have a customer, I have an opportunity to have a lifetime customer.
Yeah.
And that's what we shoot for, is we're looking for that lifetime customer. And right now, we have that.
All right, guys, let's go down. You know, hey, I like this little, don't tell me you made this too.
No. No, this belongs to one of the guys.
All right, guys, let's go. All right, so
this is a 37, and it was happened to be a 37 that was in finishing. So this would be a good chance to go up and see what it looks like getting assembled. We can go up inside it.
Yeah.
Go on.
All right, guys. Here's a good thing. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so here we are. We just went through finishing, and we saw a 37-foot hull in finishing.
Yeah.
Getting tuned up. Here's one in assembly. The holes have been drilled, all the finish work is done, and they've got their kits out here, and they're assembling everything. So, you know, the important part about building a boat is components. You've got to have the right components. You've got to have accessibility to everything. In the end, it's still a boat, and things go wrong. But everything in this boat is accessible. We got an aluminum fuel tank.
How big is this tank? Because
This
this
is
is
a 512-gallon tank.
massive.
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 And we have one tank. We don't have multiple tanks. You've got to switch back and forth on. So we've got one of the largest tanks in this class.
So for a lot of people, that means a lot of range, right?
That means more range and fewer trips to the fuel dock.
Yeah, because think about it. Like if we're in South Florida, one of the things is sometimes you're worried about getting fuel in the Bahamas or whatnot. If you have your own fuel and you don't have to worry about that, less problems, less worries.
This boat can make a trip to the Bahamas, mess around for a week, and come home without having to fuel up and taking a chance of getting bad fuel in the Bahamas.
You know, it's pretty surreal being on here after I've seen so many Solaces at the shows, right? Just seeing the men and women actually putting it all together is just awesome.
And you know what? They're truly craftsmen and craftswomen.
Yes. So once somebody gets an order at the show, Steven, say they make an order at the show, how long typically is the boat building process for you guys from start to finish?
On a 37-foot boat, within 12 weeks we can build a boat. It's kind of a long process.
Yeah.
We have to let things cure properly, and just for the process to get through the factory, it might take longer because of the backlog we have to order a boat. But a boat like this, about 12 weeks.
All right, guys, we're getting closer to the end here. I hope you guys have smashed that like button on the way out. Because how many times do you think Ryan has called Sarah, hey, can you take me out of school? Today I want to work.
Yeah, so, you know, he gets pulled out of school kind of often, and sometimes teachers are not too happy about that.
Listen.
So you're going to leave school so you can go to a boat show, or, you know, so you can do a photo shoot. And, you know, the thing is, it's part of the family business.
Yes.
And, you know, years ago, kids would get out of school to go do the harvest, right? To pick and to work at the family farm. And very similar here.
Yeah. Well, listen, you also are teaching them a valuable tool that is just as important as...
It's part of the educational process.
That's right. All right.
So here we've got the same hardtop that we just saw being assembled in lamination, where they bonded everything together. This is what it looks like after it's come through finishing. The edge, you can see the edge here is flawless. Everything is bonded together. You can see in here that it's all been bonded nicely.
Yes.
This is solid. This is one piece now. So it's two pieces of fiberglass came together to build one piece. These are the sockets here that we'll see in a moment. We have got the console sides that will come into these sockets and be bonded in.
And here is the top side, which actually you can walk on.
Yeah, so we put non-skin on it. People will come up on top to work on it, to clean it, to work on the antennas or whatever, outriggers or whatever else is up here. We go ahead and put non-skin on the top.
All right, guys, let's keep on walking forward.
So this is something that's different than you would see on any other boats. So, like at my last boat company, we would have a console and a workstation, and then we would have aluminum framework that goes from the console up to the top that does all the supporting. And we had cracking and we had paint peeling, and all the rigging is coming through on the main legs on the console. And to de-rig that, to take it out, to sandblast and to paint it, is expensive, takes a long time. So with this boat company, that was one of the things I had a few years off to think about, what am I going to do different and better? We decided to incorporate carbon fiber into the build. And now our console sides are carbon fiber and fiberglass with the glass bonded in. So you can see here, this is the console side for a 32. The glass will be bonded into this opening here. The door goes into this opening. And then this top section right here is what would go up into the socket of the hardtop.
Okay.
And we'll see in a minute on a completed boat what that looks like all together.
So we're almost out the door. So everything.
So here is a similar console to what we just looked at. And now you see the sides are erected with the center section of the console. We've got the windows bonded in. You can see they're custom made for us. This is Solace on it. You know,
so this number identifies what up here?
So this is a 28-foot boat, hull number 2.
So this is
over here is the 28 number 2.
And this is the same one that we just saw over there. We saw number 3. And
we saw number 3, yeah.
Now this is 2. This boat's going to do very well for you guys.
It's going to be awesome.
It's the first thing that people are already asking me is like, Alfred, do a video of the 28, please. So So I think this is going to be a
unfortunately,
hit.
you're not going to be able to see a completed boat. So you'll see it partially finished.
But we will at Fort Lauderdale.
And in Lauderdale, you're going to see a couple of them.
Yes, guys, Fort Lauderdale, wait for it. Oh my.
Can you visualize? That's the question. Can you visualize?
I'm telling them, can they visualize seeing them?
All right.
Let's get in
So
here,
we'll go
guys.
up here.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing? All right.
Okay, so we're up in the 28, and you know, one of the different things that we do that other boat builders don't do is our hull and deck are put together mold to mold and bonded together again as one piece. So over here, I'm knocking on the side of the hull. There's not a hollow space in here. This is bonded to the side. Our stringers come up and are bonded to the underside of this. Our fish boxes go down and bond to the hull. Our cabin interior, our fuel tank interior, all goes down and bonds to the bottom of the boat, truly creating a one-piece boat.
What was the thought process? Why did you build this 28? Were you having a lot of people asking for something like this? Like, hey, you know, I would love for this or that, or you know?
So, you know, we're trying to hit different price categories.
Okay.
And we want to get people to start off in a 28 and through the years work their way up to our line of boats.
To a 41.
So, up to the 41.
Wow, that 41.
I've got some other boats that are going beyond that too. So
But wait, more than 41. Hold on a second. Don't just change that. Do nonchalant. So other than the last mango and the cat, we have something else in the works for above the 41.
we do. So
Interesting.
we it's on the drawing board at this point.
Okay.
We really can't look at that at this point, but there's a bigger than 41 on the drawing board.
Wait
and
for
heading
it.
our way.
Miami 2025? Maybe?
We'll see.
All right, guys. We're trying. Okay. So
All right.
I see you got everything here already starting to get plumbed.
So on a 28-foot boat, we've got a pretty nice cabin.
Yeah.
We've got a China head that's not installed yet. We've got a vanity, which no other 28 has a vanity. We have 6'3" headroom on a 28-foot boat.
I'm 2 inches
Amazing.
off. Guys, you know I'm 6'5", 225 and ripped, so I won't fit, you know, because I'm that tall, but
Yeah.
but 6'3" is pretty tall.
Pretty tall.
We need that 35. Here's what I need. I need the 35 to have a whole separate head, complete everything.
We have that.
You have that?
We have that. So we'll go in the office when we get down here, and we'll take a look at some of the images we're doing and how the design process goes. And we've got that all drawn up on the 35. One of the few 35s out there that will have its own separate head compartment.
Steven, is your dad still around?
He's not.
What do you think he'd think right now after he sees this operation? How proud do you think he would be of his son?
He would be immensely proud. I mean, with the technology and with everything, you know, I learned everything I know in boat building from him. And then we've progressed from there. You know, we have the step bottoms, we have carbon fiber throughout the build. We infuse all of our fiberglass, and we've really taken advantage of technology. And you know, he was a big proponent of that. For him, back in the day, when they were building fiber, they didn't have many fiberglass boats out there.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a novel thing when he first started building boats. And look at where we've come.
Yeah, we've come a long way, guys.
We have.
All right, let's go ahead and continue down the line. And look what it takes, guys. You got people rigging inside here. See, this is the stuff that a lot of people typically don't see, right?
Yeah, so we've got bilge access here, and we got a pretty big guy in here. He's rigging the engines and running some
He
wires.
just said you're a pretty big guy, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? I think you got a lot of space to come in here and work.
Yeah, it's comfortable.
You know, a lot of times people, they underestimate maintenance, right? And sometimes pretty isn't always just practical. So for me, seeing something that someone can work on, I see money I'm saving after the fact. Because like somebody tells me, oh, well, why do you like this motor as opposed to another? I go, well, it all depends on where I'm at, right? So if I have a certain engine that nobody knows to work on. Where if I'm in the Bahamas or wherever
Right.
I'm at, it's useless other than me, and maybe I don't have the capabilities to do that, right?
That's right.
So I don't want to be stranded. Okay, so we're passing a couple of boats that are ready. You know.
Okay, so this is a 30 behind us.
Okay, which we
And-
filmed at the shows, guys.
Here's a 37. Again, we saw the hull and finishing. And we've got a hull back there being assembled.
Yes.
And this boat is now nearing completion. So they're at a point now, they're getting ready to put the batteries in. And they'll be hopefully powering this boat up and testing systems by tomorrow morning.
That 350 that Yamaha is making is phenomenal, by
Amazing.
the way. It's an
Amazing.
amazing engine.
So, you know, don't forget, it started with the platform, the 300, that's been around for a long time.
yes,
And it's turned out to be such a bulletproof engine, an amazing platform. They tweaked it, they got 350 horsepower out of it, bigger gear case to handle the torque.
it's a
And
monster.
It's a monster.
It's a monster,
Yep.
guys. And I'll tell you what, don't you guys have one of these 37s on the water?
We do.
You do. I might have a job for Ryan later. Maybe.
All right, so this is, you know, not quite finished. Everything's covered up. But this, again, is going through the build process. So from back there, the 37 we just saw in the back of the line there in assembly here, this one is about 2 weeks ahead of it. So it takes about 2 weeks to get from the back to the front.
Now, all these steps here, you guys are fabricating these as well here, right?
Yeah.
All this.
Yeah, we'll go through the metal shop and we'll see components like this being made.
Can we talk about this real quick? Because this is important.
Okay.
You know, so he's working right now on the dash.
Okay.
So look at the access, right? I want to focus on that.
So,
because
you know, again, part of the design is accessibility.
Yes.
And how do you get to all the components easily and work on them efficiently? And it's still kind of messy now. He's not done with the build. But this dash, with just a screwdriver turning a latch on the inside of the console, opens up to get full accessibility to the back of the screens and the switches and everything. And then it folds up. And then we can come around and look at the inside of the console here, and we can see all the rest of the electrical.
you see, these are the things that you can talk about, but a lot of times people don't visualize. And this is where I go back to saying, hey, when somebody's going to work on your boat, they're not going to say it's going to cost you a lot. I have access. I'll be in and out in an hour. A service call plus whatever the labor and the parts are. Because like you said earlier, things break. It's a boat,
Right.
you know. So this is almost out the door, guys. And it looks like we got that Florida afternoon shower over here coming here as well. It's like an everyday thing over here.
Every day.
Every day, right? Now, I see that these boats are already on trailers here. Are these service? Are these new boats going to be shipped out? What's the story
No,
with these?
these are new builds.
Okay.
This is going through its inspection process and detailing.
Okay.
Finished putting on some cushions, and that boat's shipping this week.
So somebody's going to see their boat before it's shipped out in a week and they're going to say, honey, come over, that's my boat.
There you go.
Oh, man. All right, guys. We continue here. All right, so where we're going to take them now. This is one of the last boats here getting before we get out of the line. This has been fantastic, though. I mean, for them to see this whole process, Stephen, it's just really, I mean, it's very, very eye-opening to a lot of people. And you know, I always tell people when you do a video on a boat, you can't really understand why things cost what they cost. So you can see a boat comparable size and it might be considerably less, but the quality of materials that you guys are using is,
the
is the
quality
best of the
materials
best.
and the labor
Yeah.
and the number of components. So in order to have finished surfaces like we do throughout the boat and finished compartments and storage, it required more molds, more components,
Yeah.
and more labor hours. And there's a lot of labor hours that goes into every boat.
Well,
So this boat here is
we're not going to get on there either. No, don't worry about it. Go do what you got to do. Okay, all right. All right, guys. Well, I'm not going to jump in there, but I want to at least try to show a little bit because this is already getting detailed. All right, so this is kind of like what they usually start seeing at the show, Steven. So this is essentially almost ready to go,
right.
right?
This
So-
is going through the last bit of the quality control.
yes.
It's been to the water. We run every boat on the water.
So it's already been on the water.
Yeah, it's got 120 gallons of fuel in it, and it's already been tested. That portion is ready to go, and now they're just detailing and going through the last little stuff on inspection. This afternoon, hopefully we'll be wrapping it and sending it down the road.
What's the furthest you've shipped out of Solace?
Saudi Arabia?
I'll tell you, when I was in Dubai, and I saw it, and I did a couple sea trials, and I actually walked the show over there in Dubai. I was like, you know, there's a whole another world over here.
There is another world.
But you know what? It's great that I do these manufacturer walkthroughs because I want to shrink the boating world out, and I want to actually expand it. But when I say it, I want people to see boats from the world, right? Why people use what in all parts of the world. Obviously, being here in Florida, we're ahead of the game, right? Because we just got, I mean, incredible craftsmen like the people that you have behind you working, and yourself, right? People like you that just have been doing this a long time, and you just make it better and better and better, and competition makes it better. So I'm excited to show the world all these boats.
Yeah, right next to my desk.
All right, Steven, where are we going now? We're going to show them upholstery, or what do we got to show them?
So we don't do upholstery in-house.
We got some smaller boats here. Anything interesting over here that we need to know about?
These are just actually boats waiting to be shipped.
Okay. What about that smaller one?
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, but is that something that you've made?
No, well, you know what? Over there, the blue one, that's an Everglades 243.
Okay.
And that's, my wife won't let me sell it. So
Really?
We're going through restoring it one more time, and we'll see. We're trying to talk.
Tell them your history with Everglades.
Okay, so my dad and I, after moving to Florida with Boston Whaler, we worked there. We opened up the plant and taught a bunch of fishermen here, local fishermen, how to build boats. Boston Whaler had been bought and sold multiple times, and we found ourselves with nothing to do one day because we were part of engineering, and there was cutting costs and trying to make the company more valuable by cutting costs on new product development. So we started Edgewater Power Boats, and we built that company. We took on some partners, and our partners had a different vision than we did. So we ended up selling them the rest of the company, and we started Everglades Boats. With Everglades, we built that company relatively fast. We went by Everglades like they were stopped, and
Which is a fantastic boat too.
it's a great boat.
Yeah.
And it's got a great heritage behind it.
Yes. Which you started.
Which we started. So we built Everglades. My family, my dad was getting older, and my family wanted to sell. So we sold the business, and I still had a young family. I wanted my kids to learn how to build boats.
Yeah.
I wanted Ryan to be a boat builder. And I wanted my older daughter to be a boat designer.
Yeah.
So she went to a design school, and she's working here now doing some marketing stuff. That's Erin. And my youngest, we'll see how that goes. But
Wait for it.
we'll wait for it, right? And so I wasn't done yet, and so we built Solace as a brand, and we did a few other things in between while I had a no compete. And our goal is to build the highest end center console fiberglass boat we know how to build, and it's really my dream job.
Yeah.
And you know,
And you don't want to drive Sarah crazy either.
you know what? We actually have different jobs here. So Sarah and I really don't interact that much here at work. She handles the office and the marketing and sales and all that kind of thing, and I handle design and manufacturing.
So how involved are you here? Let's walk this way. How involved are you here with quality control? Obviously, you can't be here all the time. You got multiple things you got to do. You got other companies that you also work with, and have essentially.
I mean, I get involved in every aspect of the business, and I try to stick my nose into everything once a day. I go on board probably every third or fourth build we have and do a surprise inspection.
Yeah.
But we also do what we call an executive walkthrough
Okay.
on every boat. So whether it's me or a chief engineer or somebody, one of the executives, will do a final walkthrough after the boat's done, detailed, fully inspected, and they think it's ready to ship. And just to ensure that that quality is being maintained.
Yeah, make sure everybody's on their toes.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, listen up. We're going to continue real quick. I got to go ahead and get my other camera, and we're going to continue with this. This is a fantastic thing. Smash that like button. Wait for it.
All right, so it's still raining.
It hasn't stopped. Wait, hold on a second. This thing could get wet. Hey, I don't know. We'll find out afterwards. All right, so this is where initially it all starts, right? Right. We're at the end of the video, but this is where Solace boats originate, right?
Yeah.
Where the design aspect, well, it actually is in your head first.
Right.
And then
So, I think about it when I'm not sleeping, and then I come in and work with the crew in here, and we'll see how we develop a concept and then bring it to reality.
all right, guys, let's go ahead and see some of the people here inside Solace. All right. Hello. All right. So, Stephen, there's a lot going on here. That looks like R2-D2.
So this is a droid that we did. We did a project for. Well, I can't say who the customer was, but
Okay,
he was,
so
he
that's
was a driver
you-
on a car for a ride system. And,
So you guys built that.
we did. Yeah, we
Oh,
built about 100 of them.
Cool. All right, guys, welcome inside the. All right, are we gonna see some design or who? Okay, so the design and the thoughts originate from your mind, right? From all the feedback you get from all your customers and your experience throughout the year, and then what? Then where do we go? What's the story?
And then we come down here to our design lab, and
I see they like to have the rooms purposely dark so they can see everything perfect. No, you can leave it off. Dude, don't worry about it. Leave it off. I want them to see. Okay, if there's anything that you don't want me to show, let me know because.
okay, that's okay.
So, okay, so you have multiple people working on the designs other than yourself?
Yeah, so we all work together,
Okay.
and everybody has a different component, a different piece,
Okay.
and they specialize in different areas too, and it all comes together in one package in the end, and goes out there to the mill, and we build plugs and molds.
All
And
right,
so
guys.
we'll go in here. We'll see Joe.
Wait for it. Wait, I thought we had the mascots in here. What are the dogs' names?
So we've got Guppy and
Uh-huh.
Marlin.
So what do we got going on? What's your name?
My name's Joe.
Joe, do you have a last name? Are you wanted by the FBI, or you can tell us? Okay, so we didn't have to tell us. Okay, so what are you doing, Joe? What's going on your end?
This is an interior for a new 35 based on the current 37.
Okay, hold on a second. So this is that 35 that you said had the separate head.
Yep. So this is, and Joe's actually designing the head compartment now for the 35.
Okay, so it is going to have a whole separate head. I don't think a 35 has a separate head.
There's not many boats out there that I know of.
Okay, so that's going to be in between your 32 and your 37.
Correct.
So that's a whole different audience, right?
Whole new platform.
and another sector that we're not in the market right now.
Okay, so Joe, what do you think they're going to like about this particular design that you're actually helping design here? What do you think the difference is?
It's actually going to be a real interior for a boat this size to have this kind of treatments is unique. There's wood grain panels, upholstery, soft goods, soft floor, air conditioning.
So if there's a young person watching, right? Because didn't you say one of your daughters, Erin, is actually designing as well?
She's doing more marketing type stuff.
Okay, but your dad designed, you designed,
Yep.
Joe's designing. What would you guys tell him? What would you tell him, Joe? Like if somebody is like in the market to learn design of boats and stuff like that.
Do it. Go to school. Do it.
Do it.
It's wonderful.
It's a good job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good gig.
How long you been designing boats now, Joe?
I started in 1989.
All right. Is there any design that you think is timeless that you've helped design or have seen in the boating world that you think is just timeless?
That's hard to say because it changes. I prefer the traditional approach to craft because it looks like a boat to me.
Yeah.
A lot of boats that don't look like boats to me. They look like modes of transportation, but they're lacking some of the integrity of what a boat needs to be.
What would you say is your favorite Solace?
I would say the 28.
That new 28 is going to be a monster. So what do you think is the biggest competitive advantage that 28 is going to have compared to other industry boats?
It's versatility, features. It's got a great running hull. Walking around it, it's got a good amount of space in it, and it doesn't feel cramped in any way. And I think a boat should feel open. Typically, if you stuff too much stuff into it, it gets a little bit cluttery.
And we saw two of them. Actually, one is going to be at the show. What was it? Hull number 2, right, or 3?
Actually, hull number 1 and 2 will be at the show. So we'll have a space inside the convention center and in the water. And the funny thing is, Joe and I are very similar in traditional what a boat should look like.
Yeah.
And we really this traditions that we use. That's part of our design. That when we design a new boat, it has to have a certain amount of tradition. It should look like a boat. And then the other thing is, whenever you ask a designer what their favorite boat is, it's typically the last project we worked on, right?
Yeah.
So the one we just finished up is a 28, and I'm sure if you ask them in another couple of months, it's going to be the 35. So
which is the one you're working on now.
Yeah.
Any innovations that you think that they would be interested in knowing, or you want to kind of hold that to your chest? That looks says it all.
So we're not talking about the new innovations on the 35,
but there are
not much
some
right now. And there's new innovations, and you know what? That's another reason why every boat that we work on, the latest boat we work on is our favorite, because it's got all the latest technologies and creations. In our new inventions are in that product.
When you guys were designing the steps on the 28, what like performance-wise, what were you looking for? Like, were you looking for more efficiency,
We
more
were
speed?
looking for the fastest, best riding,
Fastest is a big word.
driest, most fuel efficient boat.
There's a lot
on
of
the
S
water.
at the end of those.
That's
Fastest,
right.
driest.
And I tell you what, we and I tell people the top speed of our boats is a byproduct of having a good performing, a good running mid-range boat.
Yeah.
And we're also fast at the end. Well, we're good at cruise.
Yeah.
And we've got a good range. And really, our goal was to have the best of every category.
So we got 28, 30, 32, 230s.
230. So we got a 30 inshore and a 30 offshore. 32.
32. Now the 35.
35.
37. 41.
And a 41.
And then the last mango, which is 56.
56.
But that's
I mean,
a
that's
merit.
not a Solace.
That's a merit. That's a merit.
That's
but-
really Roy's project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, you guys are building it, right?
Yeah, we are building it.
So you guys have a lot of time into that, and I think it's not just going to be one you're going to make. I mean, people are going to.
Oh no, we've got several boats on the
When
way,
you
yeah.
see when I show them that boat when it's done, the industry is going to lose it. So I think the only thing is missing in this video is Ryan.
Let's go get him.
You think we could?
I think we should go get him out of school. We'll get him out of school like 30 minutes early.
That's a good father.
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Yep.
All right.
And the
Yeah.
other-
He's
the
been
other
he's
thing-
been trying to get out for the last 4 hours though, for the record. But we've said no the whole time.
So the other thing that's missing is we got to get you on board a boat. So we've got a 37 in the water. It's a little wet offshore.
let
right now.
him in this thunderstorm. Let him take me out.
No, we can do that. We can do
So
that.
let him do that. And you know, I always tease him at the shows that he doesn't catch fish. And he's like, watch, I'll put you on fish, da da da. So we'll see. I'll tell you what, I saw some of the posts that he puts on Instagram. He's like 6 feet tall now.
He is. He's a big kid.
Well, yeah, where is all this? He's like just growing like left and right now. So I don't know. I think we're gonna go with Joe.
Sure.
Hey, you want to break any news? Anything else? Give me something. They're so tight-lipped over here. These designers. All right, guys. All right. All right. Let's go. Let's go ahead and pick up. Wait, I gotta before I get out of here and get on the water. I gotta meet these dogs. Where are these dogs again?
Marlin and Guppy.
All right. Let's see. There they go. There they go. What's up? Look. So this is your best friend right here.
This is Marlin. Marlin knows it's lunchtime. So he's going around desk to desk and see what kind of
What's
scraps
up,
he
baby?
can get.
What's up, baby? What? You're such a cutie. All right.
And where's Guppy?
Where's Guppy? Guppy's
come on.
Guppy's adorable. She's a little female. Where's she at? There she goes. There she goes. What's up, baby girl? Watch this. Do they like cats? What's up, baby girl? You're such a cute. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. All right, let's go pick up Ryan.
All right. Man. He's a funny looking cat, huh?
What is that, Marley?
Go get him. 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 Go get him, Guppy. Go get him. Go get him. I'm out of here. Let's go pick up Ryan. I started a war out here.
Marlin, come here.
Oh, shoot. He's gone.
Come on.
All right, guys. We'll be back. We're going to go pick up Ryan from school. I'm going. We're not going to film inside the school, though. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and pick up Ryan. We'll be right back.
See ya.
All right. All right, so it's not every day I go to a high school to take my captain to my charter guide, right? So you're gonna be my guide right now.
Yeah.
Is that what's gonna happen? But I mean, what's up with these conditions, Ryan?
The fish like
You couldn't pick a better day?
I said we could go tomorrow.
What do you mean tomorrow? But I'm only here today. And there's a tropical storm going on.
You pick the day.
Mom. All right, wait for it. All right, guys, river deck bait and tackle. Okay, Ryan, hold on a second. We're already spending money. I thought we don't have to spend money to catch fish. What do you need?
We're spending money to save money on dinner.
Oh, this kid's a salesman. All right, all right, at least tell the people who are gonna watch us try to catch a fish. What are you using?
4-aught and 5-aught hooks.
I told you.
60-pound leader, 3/4 ounce egg weights.
Okay, hold on a second. You know catfish ain't considered a fish, right?
Yep.
So no catfish, maybe a grunt. I don't want grunts. What I want, redfish maybe.
Redfish, snook, sheephead, mangrove snapper.
Okay.
Only the big ones though.
Is he gonna catch anything?
We're gonna get on him today.
Are you his sidekick every time we go? You guys go?
Yeah. He's always my cast net.
So you're a cast net guy?
I try.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, one of my buddies is a big cast net guy. You ever heard of Fishman Joe?
No.
You never heard of Fishman Joe?
Nope.
Joe's like the cast. He's the big guy in Hollover.
Oh, really?
All right. Well, listen. What else do you need? Why are we trying to spend more money? We don't need everything else.
I got it all.
We got like 20 rods in the. How many rods did you just put in the truck?
Like 10.
All right. What's this place called? Let's give this place a plug. River Deck.
River Deck Bait and Tackle.
Cool. All right, guys. Look at this. And they have. Oh, you got some catfish here. Ryan definitely picked the best day to go fish.
And 4 1-ounce leads.
What are the odds we get skunked? You know they're gonna hear about this on
Zero.
Flibs.
0.
Sarah, I think you should get your credit card back.
Yeah.
4 3/4 and 4 1-ounce.
All right, so wait. So we went to school. We went to the house. We had to get the rods. We're here now. Now where do we got to go, Uber?
Mommy Uber.
Where?
Mommy Uber's going to take these kids to the yacht club.
Okay, so then the yacht club. Then we got to go back to the
No,
warehouse.
Well, you go fishing from the yacht club.
Okay, so Dan's gonna meet us there.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dan's gonna be our captain.
Dan is your captain.
So the boys can actually fish, and they go fishing all the time on their own,
They do.
right? But today, they need all the attention to fish. So Dan is gonna be
We
our
can't
captain.
let you down.
Yes. All right.
So, in order for them to maybe get a fish,
Listen, they're gonna catch a fish. With hundreds of dollars that have been spent right now in just fishing gear. He's sighting, Mom. He's 140. We're go call Steven real quick. And he was right. Steven was right. Lincoln went in, the first thing he did was grab something, get outdoors, and he jumped into the pool.
Alright, we got it all.
All right, do we have to go ahead and get a fishing guide now to tell us where the fish are? Or?
If you want to, but
What do you mean? If I thought you're my guide.
I am your guide. You're the one that's suggesting it, though.
What do you mean? Hey guys, check them out. Here. Fishing is
local hangout.
fishing is an expensive gig, isn't it?
Very expensive.
Yeah.
Fun.
What
Hey.
does Manny texting about all his rods?
Oh, wait, look at all the rods we had to bring, guys. Look at this. There's rods galore. All right, one more stop, kid. I'm giving you one more stop. I still got to drive back to Miami.
That's fine. Drive quick.
Who's gonna be the captain?
Dan.
Dan, and River is your road dog, right? You guys are always together.
Yep.
River, you think he's gonna catch a fish?
Then we're going to get on him.
Either if it's River or Ryan, it counts as a W for Solace. All right, guys. Dan, I guess get me close enough so I can jump on board this beautiful 37, and we'll see what these kids do. We've been waiting a couple boat shows for this to happen, so this is your shot. No excuses, Ryan.
No excuses needed.
Ryan, this is your shot.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna wager a hat for Flibs. I'm just putting that out there.
Alright.
All right, hold on a second. I got it. Welcome aboard the 37. Let's go. Hey, so while you were in school, your dad and I did a walkthrough of the factory,
Yep.
and I saw a lot of cool boats. What's your favorite Solace?
Probably the 28.
The 28?
New one.
Wow, hold on a second. Wait a second. Why is the 28 your favorite?
Because it's fast and it gets shallow.
Okay, so you think that might be a boat that you want to aspire to work to?
Yep.
You're not just gonna get a boat for free. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You got to work for things in life. You know that, right, kid?
Yep.
Okay. So are you doing anything? River, get over here. Come here, too. Hold on a
Cleaning
second.
boats.
Huh? Okay, so you're cleaning the boats right now.
Yep.
Okay, good. Are you starting off with work boats like from other people or?
Center consoles.
Okay, all right. Where are you gonna take me to go ahead and try to catch these? Give me a fish plan on this. Let's walk around the boat real quick so we can show. Dan, first of all, I apologize sincerely for putting you through this depression to go ahead and catch a fish. You'll be our captain today.
Yes, I will.
So I'm obviously excited to show this boat because I'm always showing it at Flibs or Miami International Boat, Annapolis, all the shows I've gone to. And people are big fans of Solace. And I just walked with Steve and showed the factory. The kids want to put me on fish. You'll be the captain. They normally run this area on their own. Have they told you where we're going to go or what? Because it's all them. I don't want you to do anything other than take us to where we got to go. Because I want the excuse for it to be their fault.
Well, Ryan's an accomplished inshore fisherman, so he's going to tell me where to go to catch some bait, and then he's going to tell me where to go to find the fish.
Yep.
And I'm just going to be the bus driver.
Okay, guys. There it is. Dan is going to be the bus driver. We're on a 37 CS. This is not no cheese wagon, guys. Get him over here. Let's go. This is a beautiful boat, guys. All right. So I already see something you're messing up with.
What?
You haven't told me where my life vests are.
Oh, all right.
Ah, you see that? There you go.
Life jacket's in here.
Okay.
Well, that's actually the captain's job.
Well, you know, yes, but he's my captain today. You're just the bus driver, Dan. Remember, it's his responsibility. This is his moment to shine or not shine, right? Yep. Your dad's really hoping you catch a fish. You know this, right?
We're gonna catch a fish.
I'm getting text messages right now. Have you guys caught anything? Ryan? River? You know you guys won't outlive this, right?
I know.
Look at all the water. You have put me in a whole storm to get this fish. All right. All right, let's go. Take me to where we gotta go. No excuses, guys. Hey, 37 Solace.
And try to cast net some more in there. We gotta stop at the Angler's Club first and get my pinfish.
Okay.
They're in Jay-Z's bait bin. Okay. And then we'll go to bait.
Hey Dan, while we're on this 37, I'm sure you've run this boat a couple times.
Yeah, a few.
And how are you liking these 350s on this bad boy?
Well, the 350s, they work really well. It's a really good combo. We're getting over 60 miles an hour with them, getting really good fuel economy. It's some of the first 350s that Yamaha actually put out to market, so we're pretty proud about putting them on here.
Super torquey. I mean, I did a couple sea trials in the Miami show. Wow, these things, like off the hole, they're just, you feel it.
Yeah, they got a good bite and they're lightweight too.
Yes.
So that really helps the performance of the boat.
Is there any areas here that you can actually run this boat or not? Or it's all no wake?
Actually, right here, as we finish getting past the yacht club here, we got a quick little stretch here we can run.
Yeah, run it a little bit. Why not?
All right, guys, get ready.
Hey, hold on a second. Because I want to show them these 350s real quick. You're good, guys. 350s on a solo. Yeah, we're good. Hey, no excuses, kid. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness! Look at this, guys.
That was a quick little 55 miles an hour.
So
That's
pretty.
not everything she has. But
No, so pretty.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Hey, you know, it's this boat rides so nice. And I'll tell you, the last time I was on a Solace, it was the 41, and this is a little bit smaller, but I could already tell this is also a beast of a boat.
Yeah, this boat's really struck a good balance between speed and performance, but also really good seakeeping abilities.
Yeah.
All of the Solace boats really perform well, and they're very well built. I mean, I've been running center console outboard boats my whole life, and I'm very impressed with all the different models Stevens put out.
What's the one that you really enjoy? If you had to say.
You know, I'm a blue water fisherman.
Okay.
So I like offshore.
Yeah.
So I really like the 37 a lot.
This one.
It can do everything. You know, it's got a lot of range with a 500-gallon gas tank.
Yeah.
Out here out of Ponce Inlet, we're running 130 miles offshore to chase yellowfin tuna.
Actually, I saw some pictures of some monster yellowfin tunas caught on some of these Solaces over there at the factory.
Yeah.
I saw that today. They were like, "Hey, check this out."
Yeah. There's that was actually an owner in Los Sueños, Costa Rica.
Oh, look at that.
He has a 41-footer.
Wow.
And caught a really, really nice tuna. Actually, last year in the pelagic tournament, he won the tuna division on a Solace. So, yeah. The 41, I mean, that boat is a beast. That's kind of like another level.
Have you ridden the 28 yet?
I have driven the 28. In fact, one of the things that I do for Solace is when all the new boats come off the line and go into the water for the first time, I drive them with the quality control people. We go through the whole boats, make sure everything is perfect. If we notate anything that needs to be done, we bring it back to the factory to finish them up. And one of the funnest things I get to do is the performance tests on the boat.
So the performance test, I mean, look what Ryan said right now. Hey, I love the 28. Everybody's super excited about that 28 over there at the factory.
The 28 is a super impressive boat. It's so nimble. It's so fun to drive. Like Ryan said, it'll go shallow, but it also has blue water capabilities. And with the twin 300 Yamahas that we put on there, she went 62 miles an hour on a performance test. So, and a cruise getting 2 miles to the gallon. So that 28's a winner. There's no doubt about it.
Well, it looked like a winner on the line, and we're going to see it at Flibs as well, 2024.
Yes, you will. We'll have 2 of them there.
Yeah.
We're going to have one in the water, and we're going to have one in the convention center. We're actually doing a debut to the media on that boat on the Thursday at Flibs at 10 a.m. if you want to come on by.
We're doing the debut here. That's awesome. So they're also told me about the 35, right? So which is in the works.
Yeah.
And I actually just started showing a little bit about that as well. And I think that's just gonna be like that great boat between a 32 and a 37. Sometimes people, are a little reluctant to go from a 32-foot boat to maybe a 37 or a 41. They feel a little uncomfortable for whatever reason. They might just not want to take that bigger leap, right? So now you guys offer that in the middle between both, and it's gonna have its own head. Hey, are you kids good back there or what? I mean, I don't want no excuses. I'm telling you right now. Don't blame me, don't blame Dan.
I'm putting hard work into this right now for you.
Are you sure, kid? Yep. The family legacy is on the line. You know this, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Just think what your little sisters are going to say at the dinner table. He's been telling me he's going to take me fishing for years. So this is his moment to shine. This is his moment.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about this inlet.
So this is Ponce Inlet. This is the inlet that is north of Cape Canaveral and south of the St. Augustine Inlet. There's a famous lighthouse there on the Daytona side. I've been fishing out of this inlet my whole adult life. It's a great fishery out here, inshore, near shore, offshore. Got a little bit of a run to the blue water, but we catch a variety of species.
Well, listen, it's a terrible day to be out on the water because it's been pouring, it's been raining. But you know what? What I like about these Solaces, if you want to open this up, you press a button. You can literally, guys, you want to get some wind, you don't want to get rained on, you close it, and I'm sure you guys can enclose this if you wanted to somehow, if they really wanted to.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, anybody can order a full enclosure for the helm if they'd like that. All of our boats, 30 feet and up, offer air conditioning in the cabin. We actually have usable cabins in our center consoles, which is pretty unique for this type of a vessel. One thing I love about the Solace is it strikes a balance between hardcore fishing and then also family fun with all the comforts and amenities that anybody would need to enjoy a day on the water.
All right, this area is pretty. I've never been out here. So Ryan, River, what are we gonna use right now? Are we gonna jig? Are we gonna live bait? What's the story?
We've got about a 6 foot, 60-pound leader.
60-pound leader? What are you trying to catch? A 100-pound snook?
I mean, I wouldn't say no to that. To a 4-aught or a 5-aught circle hook, and then either a live croaker, a live pinfish, or a live mullet on the other end.
All right, so I heard him telling you I need to get to this bait pin and this that. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get into somebody's.
We're gonna go over here to the Anglers Club, and he's gonna steal a bunch of bait from
a buddy,
Captain Johnny Zeller, Jay-Z.
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 Hey, does Jay-Z know you're gonna hit up his?
Yeah.
Did you hear the hesitation?
No,
Yeah.
hey Jay-Z.
We'll call him afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll let him know. Where all the bait's gone.
All right. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and we don't want to film the taking of Jay-Z's thing. Maybe other people are gonna watch where he has his bait, and we don't want them to hit it up.
This is my bait. I caught this bait.
What do you mean you caught this bait?
I caught it.
Okay. So are you paying him his rental fee for you to use his?
No,
net.
I clean his boat for him, and he lets me use his
All
bait
right,
pin.
that's a fair trade then. All right. Well, that's a fair trade. All right, let's go ahead. Okay, so wait, hold on a second. So let's talk about this real quick before we stop the camera. This is what you use this for.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about
Tackle
this.
station.
Okay, so tell me about your tackle station.
So
What's the process, right? When your dad started designing this, why did you want this like this?
we figure out how to design a boat when you use your boat. If you don't use your boat, you don't know how to design it. So after using it, we needed a tackle station. You can fit 4 of these Plano boxes in there, and room underneath them for leader, jigs, weights, paper towels.
All right, and when you're with the family and you're not fishing, what do you do? Just close it up?
Yep, you just close it right up.
Boom, and it looks.
Big cooler underneath here.
Something tells me you don't. Those are not your modelos,
No.
kid.
I gotta stay on my
Kid, let me find out you're drinking one of those modelos. River, that's not you either, right?
No.
All
I
right.
saw River with one last night.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
All right, guys. Let's go ahead and hit up Jay-Z. We're not talking about the rapper, right? This is another Jay-Z.
Yeah.
All right, guys, over here. Wait for it. Oh, there's a boat ramp here.
The kid's deeper up here. I promise I know where I'm at. See him? Right off the bow.
All right.
Yeah, remember, he drives a flat spill.
Okay. All right, guys. We're putting this 37 Solace. Okay. What instructions did I mean, he's on this boat a lot, especially with his dad. So he said, put the center motor up and what?
Put the center motor up. Trust me, we can get back here, no problem.
All right, guys.
I think he's right.
This-
We're down to 3.5 feet now.
This is the Ryan hour. Come on, Ryan. You better catch some bait now.
All right, a little more. Get ready, they're everywhere. Neutral. Forward. I was just short.
No, you had your car.
Oh, there's a few.
Yep, we got him. Perfect. Mullet run.
Yeah.
There's a pile of motors.
I know.
But more importantly, we just showed this 37 in what, 3 feet of water?
Yeah, a little less than 3 feet.
From a bucket one in here.
All right,
A
guys.
little bigger than I wanted. Yeah. There's your fish, Alfred.
Hey, this is not fish. This is bait. That's not one fish. Hey, you know what? Mullets are a big thing in certain parts of the world. You know that, right? Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got frozen mullet in the freezer right now.
This area here is actually
Well,
one of the
no.
biggest commercial mullet fisheries at one time.
Really?
I want to get some
Absolutely,
smaller
yep.
mullet. We've
Yep.
got time before the tide change.
Let's go up here. Next to the island, there's always smaller mullet there.
It's plenty deep. Promise.
Where are we going now?
Just straight up there, though.
Straight up there, yeah. Follow this track.
Sean, is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it? River. River, are you gonna bring the... Uh-oh. Get over here, Ryan.
See how smart River is? He moved to my spot where we got the bite.
I did notice
I
that.
did move to your spot.
I did.
He's no
Ooh,
dummy.
oh, let's see if that rig. Ryan's old.
That's a good
This is
fish.
Ryan's knot.
This is a good fish. You're a little early with the net, Ryan. It's gonna be.
Oh no! Oh, that would have been the one. That would have been the one. River.
That's River's fault. River put too much.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
That ain't the knot.
No.
Wait a
That ain't the
second.
knot. That ain't the knot.
Oh.
Cut off on a rock.
That's 60 pound.
How's that possible?
Hey, I came here to catch fish, not. Oh, look! The dolphin.
Dude, listen to this guy.
He's saying, "Catch me, catch me." The aftermath, River. How bad was it? How does it feel to lose? Nice. What do you think it
I
was?
lost dinner.
You
What-
and Dan.
What do you think it was? Well, Dan, in all fairness,
Head shakes or not?
A lot of head shakes. I think it was a little poon.
Probably gonna give us a finger lick.
oh boy. Uh-oh.
Are you done showing us up? Are you done making us look bad? What's up, buddy? I'm sure the boys would like that.
Oh yeah, why not, right? Get any bites out here?
We got 2 bites.
Saw you pulling one off.
Yeah.
Red?
We think it was a red. We didn't have any fingerling. We're fishing pinfish and pinkfish. I don't think we had the right
This one
bait.
in the net. You can grab the net.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a fat snook.
Were you fishing fingerling right there on the end of the rock?
Big mullet.
Big mullet?
Big mullet, big pinfish.
We had big mullets.
We had big mullets and big pinfish.
I've been hanging on that corner when that bait comes around and dips, they're just snapping.
Right there. Yeah.
They're out here on the tip of rock too.
We're fishing this rocky area out here. We got 2 bites, but that's it.
Hard to fish just to get hung up with that.
Yeah.
Mullet like this?
Crashing the boat.
Hey, you guys didn't say how we got the fish on the boat. Hey, listen. Hey, you got the fish on the boat. Wait for it.
Now you can take all kinds of pictures.
There you go, guys. Scotty.
He's still alive. We can put a hook in him and rip
Yeah,
his head.
go. Hey. No, listen, I got to drive back to Miami. I was filming the actual, the kids fishing, but we did a walkthrough of the factory at Solace.
Yes, sir.
And Dan was actually talking about, you being a captain over here, and obviously you're super successful. And we've been watching you fish all afternoon.
Glad to be here.
Well, it was nice of you to do what you did.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
Thank
Scotty.
you, sir.
Appreciate it, man.
Got some mullet, big mullet, put them down here. You catch some redfish on the Beckerland, but these snook are eating them big ones.
Okay. Okay.
So try it again now.
All right, go take a picture with the fish. I gotta go. Alfred, Montaner, you can see it. Go. Come on, kid. Listen.
All right,
You
let me
see?
grab it.
You see? Go ahead. There you go. All right, guys. Look, this will be the thumbnail. They won't know what happened till at the end of the video.
Look in him and pretend he caught it.
No.
I don't want to risk losing
Nah.
this guy.
Hey, listen. That is That was really nice of him. And you know what? More importantly, we're out on the water, guys. That is a snook, nice snook, slot snook. It has to be 28 to 32 inches.
Yep.
If not, wait for it.
Now.
Hey, Alfred Montaner making a scene as always. We didn't say how we had to get the fish. We didn't say how we had to get the fish on the boat. Come here, River.
Yeah.
That was our fish.
That
Scotty
was
took
our
our fish.
We did.
He did, doesn't matter. But listen, Scotty put him on the boat and we're on the boat now. Now listen. All right, listen. Listen to me, Ryan, I got this. You don't tell mom, okay? Take a picture right now, right? And we'll edit, we'll say that Alfred did not have his camera on, he ran out of battery. Kid.
This is where it's at.
Everybody making a scene as always. Wait for it. Hit that lens.
You're gonna come clean.
Yeah. All right. We caught it in the net.
Dan got the captain of decoy to come and give us a snooky caught.
All right, we got
Scotty
on the
came
boat.
through.